So dividing exponents. So we talked about exponents is the term is the little number that the term is being multiplied by itself. So we did this one. That would be x to the third. So then you'd write 3 of them. Y squared. That reduces to how many x's and how many y's. That would be our final answer. Make sure you put a box around your final answer so you and I can make sure that I know which one I am to grade. So let's do dividing. So now we're going to divide. Can you go ahead and turn the page, please? And let's do dividing and simplifying. Let's divide and simplify. Divide and simplify. So now we're going to divide and simplify. So what I mean by simplify is we're going to reduce it. Instead of having so many y's and so many x's, we're going to simplify by reducing. We're going to simplify by reducing to ones. Okay, so how do I make a 1? Okay, instead of having the y's, I'm going to make 1's. So how do I make a 1? To make a 1, you divide the numerator by the same denominator. I started spelling it wrong. So that would be saying, like, if you have 4 pieces of candy, you need to, so that everyone gets 1 piece of candy, you need to have 4 people. If you have 8 people, then you need to have 8 pieces of candy so that each person gets 1 piece of candy. That's what we're talking about. So that would be, like I just said, 4 pieces of candy for 4 people, 8 people, 8 pieces of candy so that everyone can get 1. Alright? But in these, we're talking about letters. So if we had G, it'd be what? G divided by G equals 1, as long as G is not equal to 0. Those would be some examples. Okay? It could be also Z divided by Z equals to 1, as long as Z is not equal to 0. That's what we're doing. Okay, so we're going to be simplifying and reducing it. So let's do an example. Can I zoom out? Just a little bit. Okay, so here's your first example. Then you'll do one on your own. How fun. So Z squared. Y. You okay? Y to the 4th. Z to the 5th. Alright, there's your first example. So we write it down, then we're going to write out all the z's and the y's. So once you get the pattern, it's okay, but at first I'm going to write them out so everyone can understand what happened to them. So let's write them out. So z squared, how many z's would I write, Miguel? Yeah, z multiplied by itself twice. Y, that would be how many y's? 1, just because there's 1 there. Now, that's the top part, okay? Now, the denominator, the bottom part, I'm going to write it out. But I like to line up the y's with the y's. So, even though y comes first, I'm going to put it under the y's. So, I can make it easier for me to see. So, y to the 4th would be how many y's multiplied by themselves, Alejandra? Perfect. So, you write out 4 of them. Alright, and now the z's, how many are multiplied by themselves, Luis? Okay, let me make sure that all of these 5 z's can fit that are multiplied by themselves. Okay, so do you see how I like to line them up so it's kind of easy for me to see the numerator and denominator? Even though it's kind of flipped. That's just, you don't have to do it that way. I've seen most people get stuck when they do it this way. So now I'm going to reduce it. If I see the same numerator denominator, I'm going to eliminate those, reduce it, and that equals to 1. Okay, so here I see a z and a z, so I'm going to reduce that to 1. same numerator, denominator, that equals to 1. So what's left after I simplify and reduce? What's left that I didn't reduce? These 3. So I'm going to circle them because that's what's left. Alright, now the top part, the top part right here would be, once again, the y and the y, that would eliminate to 1. So I have this many left over. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to write my final answer. This is my work, but I'm going to write my final answer here. So over here, how many y's are left in the denominator? How many z's? 3. So it'd be z cubed because there are 3 z's multiplied by themselves. How about the y's? Alejandra, how many y's? So it'd be y cubed. Okay? Now, in the numerator, do I have any letters left over? No, because this was equals to 1, that equals to 1, that equals to 1. So because I don't have any letters, these are equal to 1, so it's going to be 1 over z to the third, y to the third. So let's see with your thumbs. I think I could do this by myself. Thumbs up. In the middle, I need another example. And then thumbs down, I didn't really get what you were doing. Okay, let's do one. Now you'll do one. Now, if there was a letter left on the numerator, you would write the letter. Okay? You don't have to write that just right now. Just make sure you know how to do the example, okay? So right here, if it was a letter left over, you'd want to make sure to write the letter. Here I didn't have any letter, so it's just I'm going to write my 1. All right, let's have you do an example on your own. Example number 2. Okay, try to do that one now on your own. I'll walk around and check.